Scallops Hotel, really good hip hop album.
Don't even know what
Kind
that
of
is.
reminds me of Earl Sweatshirt, but not the same. It's a good album.
Earl Sweatshirt?
Yeah. Look, he's pulling out the deep
brother
cuts
of
here.
Tyler the Creator.
Yeah.
If people like him,
I don't even know who that is.
That's okay. You don't have to. That's what I'm trying to say, though.
Like, we could be doing this.
This is Felix Hergood of the Emergent Gamer Podcast, and I am here with some good friends. Yes, this is a different episode. This is slightly different than what you're used to. Normally we do EG Presents, and we have a numeric tally that keeps rising of episode after episode after episode after episode. Unfortunately, Trip Zero and Neo Yoshi and Lock and Key all could not make it this week. So we thought we'd try something else, and next week they'll be back for episode 151. Right now, I have two special guests who are constantly in correspondence with the EG community.
Are we going to get the same intro song, or do we get a new one?
Do we get our own intro song?
I should make up an intro song, shouldn't I, for you guys?
Oh, hell yeah. Are you kidding me?
if you're going to give us a new name.
Don't give us that fucking, the same one you do every week. Come on, something new.
I'll find something.
Yeah.
I'll go into like Google. Google has a bunch of like really awesome, really free.
Big ups, Google.
Really
Always
free,
gonna
like,
remember you,
and they have like, you know what's really cool?
Our
They
overlord.
have they have video game, like a video game category where you could just get these jingles for free.
Yeah.
So I'll just find one and I'll just make it your intro.
Something
way.
dope.
But anyway, this is the first Correspondence in Coffee.
Such a bad name.
Oh,
No,
God.
it has alliteration. What are you talking about? There's
It
consonants
just sounds
there.
so diplomatic.
Correspondence and Coffee.
You just really hate the word correspondent.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right.
But
we need a new name.
Flower. So here's who we have here for the show tonight. We have Flower. Hi.
That's me.
Sleeping
Hello. How you
Flower.
doing?
Hey, Sleeping Flower
Damn
X.
fucking right.
What's your Twitch? Because
Twitch.
you're getting ready to go live.
I am starting on the 26th of January, and it's twitch.tv/sleepingflower.
Just Sleeping Flower, no X on the
No
end.
X on the end.
Sleeping Flower X is your Twitter handle.
Yep, and my PlayStation.
She's going to hunt a brachydios. Want to know what that is? Stay tuned.
So then we also, in addition to Sleeping Flower, we have our other awesome correspondent. We love you,
Cat Mom?
Cat
Mom.
Cat Mom.
No, it's Snacks the Cat.
Snacks the Cat is back.
Yeah.
And
I'm calling you Cat Mom for the rest of the episode.
All right,
I hope
It-
you understand.
If you've ever watched my stream, you might be familiar with both of them because I've done live streams with both Snacks the Cat and I was just about to say with Cat Mom. I've done live streams with Cat Mom. By the way, Cat Mom is drinking coffee out of a mug that says Cat Mom.
You have a mug
And
that says Cat
old
Dad.
Felix Hergood here is drinking out of a coffee mug that says Cat Dad. And then what do you have?
I have an emerging mug, so I'm just cool.
You're
you know?
you have the Emergent one. You have the classic logo.
I do.
We had this logo that looked
man.
like the Enron symbol.
I think about that every time I see it, too.
I basically looked at the Enron symbol and I said, no one's going to use that. Fuck it.
That's good. Well, you and I get to file our joint income tax this year, I guess.
Yes, Cat Mom.
Claim your cats.
Hell yeah, Cat
But
Dad.
no, we have Snacks the Cat here. Snacks the Cat is with us again, and as always, and I love you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Always a pleasure.
And thank you for being here as well, Flower, if I didn't say that.
It's all right. You know, I'll be thanked later.
Yeah, you're always
Are you dying? Are you going to die in this episode?
Maybe.
And then we'll resurrect you 5 episodes from now.
Yeah.
It'll be like a Dragon Ball Z episode.
Did you really just tell me that Dolores Diordin from Cranberries has died?
Yeah, she's dead, unfortunately.
Jesus fucking Christ,
They
dude.
still don't know, as of right now.
I didn't mean to take us off topic because I know we're going to
Yeah,
get into
Jesus.
game talks, but like the Cranberries were seminal for me,
I
dude.
guess so.
Yeah, they were.
Like the song
a thing.
Zombie.
Zombie, zombie, zombie.
I'm going to casually opt out of that.
We went into that. Are you a fan of that music?
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
what
I
your
wasn't
guys are.
sure.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I just wasn't going to get into the song.
Yeah.
That was all you guys.
Well,
I would have came in
I
off
just think
key.
that song's funny.
I was young as hell when that shit came out. Like
Yeah.
when their first album, which it has some really fucking weird name. It's like something. So what you are, you can't be, or something. Like their first album, I don't remember. But the second one, man, the one with Zombie on it, I don't remember the name of that. Both of them had a question mark in the
We're off to
title.
a rough start, though.
Yeah.
We're already lost a talented musical artist. 2018 just started.
Yeah, this is
There it
terrible.
goes.
2018.
It's not
That's
that
sad.
bad yet. I
But you
honestly
did
think
bring
this
it
will
up.
be a
You
good
have
year.
to admit you brought it up, and I thought I'd
Yeah.
just address it for a second. That's fucked up.
I brought it off the show.
Hey, remember we said we had topics?
Yeah, sure.
No, so
Yeah, that's
so
all right.
what we're gonna do tonight?
We knew that was.
We don't really have news. None of us had the patience to go look for news. Neo isn't here, and he's our news gatherer. He's great at it. He
God
finds
damn it, Neo.
shit all the time. So we don't have any news or anything like that. But what we were going to do is we were just going to unpack 3 topics. There's 3 hosts. Why not do 3 different topics? Why not? All of us have stuff to talk about. We're all playing different things. We might do a little bit to not go too off our format. We might do a little bit of what you're playing right now.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do a little what you're playing because
Hell
that's
yeah.
cool. And then we'll roll into like each of our topics one at a time. Flowers got a topic, I got a topic, and so does Snacks the cat.
I
So
made my
Oh,
topic.
wait,
I
all
thought about
3.
mine real hard.
so do you have an idea of what you want to go into later, Flower?
Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
thinking,
We'll figure it out.
yeah.
You haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah, no.
Why? Because my topic's going first.
Yeah.
We're-
Obviously.
we're going.
This
to
was
my
your
thing
idea,
This
so you're doing
was
it.
all you.
You're like, we got to do it this way. And it's like, well, then you can show us the way.
first. I fall
We're
apart.
supplementary.
I fall apart when I lose the creative director.
Yeah.
I don't
You
know
got
what I'm
this,
going to
cat
do.
daddy.
I'm the
Snacks.
cat. I'm the cat daddy now.
Yeah.
Cat daddy. This is
cat
this is getting
daddy.
kinky in here.
Oh, man.
I'm here for it.
Do you, what's your topic? You just going to reveal it like a mystery reveal?
I mean, if we haven't even said what any of the topics. Let's just wait.
Let's wait.
Yeah. Let's
Surprise and delight.
so we're going to start with what are we playing?
wait. Yeah, sure.
What are you playing, Snacks?
Playing a couple of things. Well, 2017, bang up year for games.
Oh, did you have a game of the year?
Zelda, flat out.
Same here.
Yeah, I'd have to say if there were 3 games that I think peaked for 2017, it was Zelda, Pyre. I stand behind that game completely. That game is incredible.
Does it count if you didn't play it in 2017?
It totally counts. He put some fucking shit on his list that was from Ghost Recon Wildlands was
No,
not.
that was totally 2017.
Okay. There was. Know there was something on
I
your
checked
list.
the
that was
dates. I checked the dates.
Not, whatever.
I
Don't care.
I checked the dates.
Good game from 2017. Everybody should play it, but you won't.
It's called Pyre.
unfortunately.
Pyre.
It's the guys that did Transistor and Bastion.
I
Yes.
love those guys.
You've mentioned that.
Super Giant Games.
Yeah.
I know some of them.
It's like NBA Jam
you
with
guys.
sorcerers. and
You know
it's
them personally?
So cool.
a couple of them, yeah.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
You know, you're in with the studio guys.
You know, I run with all the crews.
Outside of that, though, currently I'm pretty much just waiting for 2 games to come out: Monster Hunter World
Woot woot.
and Dragon Ball Fighters, which is being made by Arc System Works, and those are the guys that do like Blaze Blue and Guilty Gear, just like really hardcore fighting games. And I just played the Dragon Ball Fighters beta this weekend, and that game is good.
Can I ask a question
Yeah.
about is it 2D? 2.5?
It's like 2.5, yeah. It's exactly like that. So it's like kind of got
It
this
looked like
art
Street
style.
Fighter to me.
No, it's way quicker than Street Fighter. It's a 3v3 fighting game. It's way more similar to like I guess Marvel vs. Capcom in a way because of how quick it is. But
Yeah.
it's simpler because all of the combos make you feel like you're really good at a fighting game, but it's all one button presses. So you smash the light attack and you go into a combo that takes guys off the air and stuff. Even though it can be simple, it gets really technical with all like you can do like teleports and like you can cancel out to other characters. It's really cool and like it'll be really fun to play it. If anything, like I know me and a couple buddies are going to be picking it up and we're going to get really hardcore into it. So I'm excited to really sink my teeth into it more. But yeah, I'm just waiting for some more cool Switch
You like
games.
fighting games, right?
I get behind them sometimes. It really depends on what it is. Like something like Mortal Kombat, I like Street Fighter. There's some I'm like terrible at, like Injustice. Like I don't know how the fuck to play that game at all.
That's all right. I'll play it for you.
Okay, sure.
I'll play too.
Yeah, we had
talk about
fun, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah.
We have the exact opposite taste in fighting games, it sounds like. Because,
Really?
like, I hate Street Fighter,
Oh,
but I love, like, Soul Calibur and
Soul Calibur's
Dead or
so good.
Alive.
Oh, I
and,
can't
like,
wait for the new Soul
all-
Calibur.
all
Dead or
of
Alive's
those.
great too.
I love Dead or Alive.
Did anyone try the sleeper hit fighting game from this past year, which the name is escaping me? The one where you're like roaming a world challenging people?
Oh, wasn't that Absolver? Or?
Absolver. Yeah.
I played a little bit of that.
didn't.
I wasn't really into it, but like all of my friends were for some reason. So
How did
whatever.
it? Can you explain how it worked?
basically, it was a lot like a Dark Souls or kind of things like that, where you like went around and you like challenged random people that you met, and they could still have
Were
your
they
stuff.
players or were they?
There was both. So you could play,
NPCs?
you could fight players, you could fight NPCs, and then you fought them, and then as you used certain moves, they leveled up, and then like as you used them against people, you got better at them and really cool stuff, and you could beat people up and steal their gear and stuff like that.
So it was kind of like an RPG version of a fighting game.
Yeah, it was.
But
It was a
even
little bit of
more-
both.
Even more RPG than like getting gear in the, like you actually roamed in an open world.
Yes,
Oh wow! So it was fully open world.
it was really cool.
Did you have any interest
I
in
played it
playing
for,
that?
like,
Snacks?
No,
30 minutes.
Kind of skipped over it, honestly. But yeah, that's pretty much all I'm playing. I'm just waiting for more cool Switch games to come out.
I was going to say earlier when you had brought it up that Breath of the Wild like kind of won the voting for
Yeah,
for with
totally.
us, and that we came to that conclusion because all of the members of the show. Well, okay, technically not Neo because he wanted it there, but he was really torn whether he should put Horizon on his list for some
Right.
reason. But it seemed like all of the members of the show really enjoyed Horizon, right?
Sure. Yeah,
But none of us put it at number one.
I don't think
But
it's a number one game. By
3
any means.
members of the show put Breath of the Wild
It's a good
as their
game.
number one
I don't
game.
think it's a great game by any means. I think it's good though.
Which one?
Horizon.
Horizon, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Neo said the same thing. He
Yeah.
said he kept falling out of interest
Yeah.
with it.
I don't know. People get
it couldn't
overhyped
hold
about
'em.
things. Like I think Nier is another one that everybody loved, but like playing through it, I don't think there's anything that special about it. I think games like Bayonetta and Devil May Cry are way better at that type of style. But that's just my opinion. Like I know a lot of people like those games. What have you been playing, Flower?
Oh, me.
Yeah.
Hey, Flower.
Hello, guys. I've been mostly playing competitive Overwatch, and really random indie games. So like,
Wait, competitive, like where you're trying to get like a rank?
Yeah.
yes.
What's your rank?
Right now I am low diamond. So like
What is the tier? You got to remind
So,
our,
like, it's
remind
like
our audience.
bronze, silver.
bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, master, grandmaster, and then like top 500. So I'm like right in that middle, like somewhat good, but like, you know,
You're where you
kind
need
of
to
alright.
be to
Yeah.
be like, oh, this is a good player.
Yeah.
Cool.
You guys
That's
know
real cool.
Eat More Ramen, right? By
Yeah.
name.
Eat more ramen. Yes.
So Eat More Ramen, he just achieved something cool, didn't he?
Yeah, he just ranked master, and then
He got
probably
master.
fell out of it, but that
Yeah.
sucks. You know what I mean? Like he worked really
Yeah.
hard for that, so big ups to him.
I mean,
you
I
know?
think he's just proud to say he got it once.
yeah,
right?
that was really dope.
That's a
It's
big
hard.
deal.
It's hard to hold that. You got.
You get a holographic like little emblem
Oh, I
when
thought
you
that
get
was
to
only
master.
for Grandmaster.
No, master gets it. It's
That's
really
cool.
It's really dope. I was really proud.
How many days did he hold it for?
I
I'm
know.
unsure.
I think it was only like a week or something, maybe
Yeah.
2, because he immediately tried to play, and I talked to him, and I was like, "Hey, how'd you do?" And he was like, "I just got out of it, actually." I was like, "Oh, sorry."
Yeah, but we very proud of him for a while.
Yeah.
So that was really cool.
He doesn't listen to the show, does he?
Mm.
I don't think he's
cry
ever
myself.
expressed that.
Oh well.
Well, if you ever listen to this episode, Eat More Ramen. We're proud of you.
Very proud. Be proud.
Sure.
So what else? You're getting ready to stream.
I am getting ready to stream. So starting with Monster Hunter, which is going to be my first streamed game ever, I'm going to start streaming regularly, and I'm really excited to do so because, you know, it seems cool. I can talk about Monster Hunter for literally ever. So
So in your experience with streaming, you did one test or 2 tests?
I did 2 tests.
You did 2 tests. Did you have any viewers or
I had one.
do you have lurkers?
I had like 2 or 3 people lurking, and then I had like one person actually talk to me in chat. So that was pretty cool.
Oh, good. You had somebody talk because there are bots. There's bots that
Yeah.
latch on to people for some reason. I don't know what it's about. I get one all the time. He's definitely in there. That this bot is in there every single time. I think he's a bot. I don't even know. He might not be a bot. It's just like a huge fan of the show, and he like never ever says a word.
He just likes.
Eventually, people talk. I like to hope that eventually someone's going to talk. But I've been streaming for almost 3 years, and like this name is always in my stream and never says a word.
That's creepy.
And I've seen it, and I'm just like, what's the deal there? It's got to be a bot, right?
It's a bot.
It can't be a human, flesh and blood breathing human.
It'd be scary if it was.
Yeah.
He's just
Snacks,
watching it.
I never even asked. Do you actually watch streams?
Sometimes. It
Are you
depends.
like a streamer person?
I mean, if I'm watching anything that's a stream, it's probably just Kriparian, and he streams Hearthstone.
Yeah, I know you've been in my stream, but I figured you were just doing that to support,
Sometimes, like, it depends. Like, if you're doing antics or something wild, depends on what's being played. But, like,
Right.
I guess if there's anything I'm watching consistently, it would just be, like, if I'm trying to go to bed or something, I'll throw a stream on for Kriparian, and, like, he just streams Hearthstone from, like, 11 to, like, 3 in the morning. So it's like, oh, okay, cool. Like, I have insomnia, so this is perfect for me. Like, I can throw it on, watch a few runs of, like, a few matches, and then just pass the fuck out. So that always is something that I will consistently watch if I'm following anybody. But other than that, I'll just pop in to see, like, what new games people are playing,
Yeah.
Watch people get frustrated. Yeah, I don't know.
Pretty much. Like, personally, I don't watch streams of people that I don't like know. So like I jump into like you or like Locke or Neo or Trip, like one of you guys. But like if I don't really know you,
I like it when it's more low key, honestly, because I feel like when you get a little higher up, there's this like you get this personality that like really is just like a little bit too much as far as who you are and who your streaming personality is.
Right.
And I don't really like that disconnect in like what I feel like somebody is.
Oh, you're saying a major streamer.
Yeah, like I feel like there's definitely like promoting like a self-image thing, and like I feel like I lose a part of who that person is when they're doing that. Whereas like the reason I watch this person that streams Hearthstone is because it feels like they're just very chill, they're low key. It's not like they really promote themselves. It's like very much so like if I meet this guy in person, I feel like he's the same way that he is. It doesn't feel like there's this big show going on. Like it's very personal.
I don't want to ever become the streamer that is that promoting fucking dick. Like I just don't want to be that ever.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's not my thing.
Yeah,
I think like after a certain point, it starts feeling like acting unless like I'm watching.
Totally.
Like
Yes.
I like watching streaming because it's like watching. Like you used to like way back when hang out with your friends and watching them play video games and watch them get frustrated, things like that. And that's what I like watching in streamers. And like I feel like after a certain point it's like this actor that I'm watching play video games, and that's not as cool. You know what I mean? Like
totally. And I've never gotten into like IRL or anything. That's just
Right.
not my wheelhouse. I don't know. Like I'm more so just I would just rather do something myself at that point.
Right.
I did one IRL stream.
Yeah, totally. It's not to discredit that like there's an audience for it. It's just like for me personally, it's like
No, I mostly did it for the community members who've been constantly coming in the stream.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a response to both two things: the having watched Spider-Man and response to Defenders, because these were things that I had talked about in my stream, and I said, and I think I wasn't going to be able to stream because I was at my parents for like a week, and I basically said, yeah, I'll do an IRL while I'm down there.
Cool.
Because you can do it now right live from the Twitch app.
Okay.
The Twitch app in your phone, you can just go live to IRL if you wanted to. It's pretty dope.
Weird.
Did you know that?
I didn't, but
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, you just on the Pulse screen, you know where Pulse is?
Yeah.
In there, you'll see a camera, and that's how you go live to
Weird.
your channel. It's fucking crazy.
You want to do some
Yeah.
topics?
Oh yeah, we were supposed to be
Oh
talking.
yeah, I think we were gonna
This
do.
is like super free form, but that's totally fine. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's been fun so far. Wait, did
Yeah,
I
totally.
say what I've been playing?
You have not.
No, yeah. What you been playing?
Well, I've been getting these. I've been getting pretty hardcore into Ghost Recon, but there's two reasons for this, and I never thought that I would get into this game. I don't know. I watched streams of people playing it, and I didn't care. I got a couple people in the stream. It was on sale during Black Friday. A couple people in the stream play it, and they said, "Get it." I needed another game besides Battlefield 1 to play with people in the stream.
Right.
I just started doing this thing that I'm calling Felix and Friends, basically. So if I play with people from the community, it's basically like me playing with guys who are regular people who are constantly in the stream, basically. And so I wanted more games that we can do that with, and this game's perfect because it's like four of you together. But I didn't realize that I would like it so much.
That's
like,
good.
You go in, you play a couple missions. It's a big, huge open world map. Lots of explosions, vehicles that are really neat, and it's all takes place in a fictional version of Bolivia. By the way, the Bolivian government's really pissed about it.
Yeah, I probably would be too. Just
They literally,
government.
in the narrative of this game, they open with, by the way, Bolivia is now a narcos state. It's completely controlled by narcos kingpins. What?
and the kingpins of Bolivia are like, hey, how'd you find that out?
So it's like either the kingpins of Bolivia are pissed because they called them out on their fucking bluff, or it's improper characterization. What do you think, Snacks the Cat?
I have no comment for Bolivia.
Snacks,
or the
you
beliefs.
like open world games, right?
Yeah, I get fatigued by them super easily, though.
Oh, are you fatigued now with open world games?
Well, no, I wouldn't say it's fatigued. It's just like
Snacks has different levels of fatigue.
I do have different levels of fatigue. It's just like more so with the open world games. I just feel like as soon as I hit one that does something really well, it's hard for me to go back to other ones. Like playing The Witcher and like The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt and actually finishing it
Is my game of every year.
Yeah, exactly. Like
You've done it every year?
No, The Witcher is my game of
like,
every year forever.
I finished.
Oh, you love it.
I've started The Witcher 3 separate times actually. And the first time got me to the Bloody Baron, which is where everybody stops playing for some reason. The second time I played it on PC and I got to the same spot. The third time I actually committed and I finished that game in probably a month. Just this last year, in like February of 2017, and that game is incredible. Like the amount of depth and like rabbit holes that you can get sucked into, it is insane. So like playing something like Horizon or like just anything else like open world, it just doesn't amuse me to the level that game can. Breath of the Wild was the only exception because like,
well, that's a whole other.
Yeah, that's a whole
other
different
level.
and like it does things that The Witcher isn't trying to do.
The thing I said on the last show is the Breath of the Wild, the puzzle is figuring out the mechanics.
Totally, yeah.
That is the puzzle.
Yeah, and like
it's great.
It's way more somber, like very sparse with music and stuff there. Whereas The Witcher is like it's just like a fantasy epic, and it's awesome. And like I'm gonna go back in just to play the DLC when it goes on sale.
I feel like fantasy epic is a great way to describe The Witcher because it really is what The Witcher is.
It's
so great.
You guys heard they're coming out with a show, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's coming out soon.
I don't
Are
know.
we excited about that?
I don't know.
I mean, I've read all the books and all the comics.
Is it based on the books and not the
I don't-
game?
I think
'Cause
it's
if
based on the
books. It
books.
might be dope.
No.
I don't think
The
it's
books are
Geralt
bad.
at all. I think it's just like
It's not Geralt.
It's just in the world.
yeah, I think so. But
Ooh, but if Geralt, like a character comes in that's Geralt later,
We'll
it's like
see.
it's
There's-
like with
it's a-
Gotham, they can eventually just bring in Batman.
well, it's like a whole world. Like there's
It's a large world.
Yeah, there's so much going on in that. I mean, like it's really impressive what they've been able to make with it. But yeah, that game is just incredible.
That's good.
I got in a Witcher hole. I played the game all the way through. I didn't do any DLC, but I definitely got through all of the main game. I don't
Right.
know if I got all collectibles or anything like
I
that.
didn't. Hell no, that game's
No,
insane.
there's
Yeah.
way too much.
Yeah.
I just I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. I loved going into town and sleeping with a bunch of prostitutes. I thought that was really cool.
True.
Dirty and weird.
True that though.
There's one news announcement kind of that relates to this. I just got a text tonight from Neo when we were kind of like going over possibly doing the show, and the thing that he said was that E3 there might be a possible announcement of a date for Cyberpunk.
Yeah,
Cyberpunk
2077.
27. What is it?
I think it's 2077.
Yeah,
Something
Cyberpunk
like that.
2077. So I think that's going to be probably because I just saw Blade Runner 2049,
Yeah.
and it's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 30 years
2018.
later. No, I'm excited about. I like cyberpunk. I guess. I mean, that sounds cliche, but I like that as a genre.
Well, like them making a cyberpunk game is like, I mean, it's like what people want. It's like, oh, that's like CD Projekt Red after making Witcher 3, they're on like the top of the fucking charts. Everybody loves them,
Right.
And like they can only really go up from here.
And it's
Like,
really funny because like CD Projekt Red is really like was really like 6 people huddled in their basement for a while, and now it's this huge company, and it's so fascinating to watch happen.
Everybody cares about them and loves them right now, and it's totally earned because they made an incredible game,
a phenomenal game.
And like looking at what they could do next, I mean, they're on the Kojima train right now, where it's like you make incredible games, and the next thing that comes out, like the hype level is just through the roof.
Right.
So like, and usually, I mean, like, you know, they've just gotten better over time. So it's like, you know, you can only hope that it's going to hold up to the same reputation that Witcher did. So, you know, that's why people are so excited for it. Well, I am excited for it. Yeah.
They're Polish, right?
Swedish? Polish?
I think they're Swedish.
Swedish. I'm going to
Is
Sweden.
it Swedish?
Yeah,
so.
Sweden.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, that makes sense. All the Norse, like,
Yeah. Swedish.
you know, references. I don't know. It was awesome. I love Witcher 3.
Witcher 3 was great.
Yeah, so just Ghost Recon. I've been playing that. And then Breath of the Wild.
I 100% forgot what we were talking about.
Yeah, right.
No, that's okay. We're going to go to topics soon.
Yeah.
And then I've been no-hutting, and you think I'm crazy, Snacks, but I've been no-hutting Assassin's Creed Origins.
The game's just...
Like, no HUD.
Why?
Because... Very simple.
Never mind.
No,
Flower, I
Flower,
rescind my question.
Flower, you're going to totally appreciate this reasoning.
Okay.
Okay, so the yellow diamond icon, right, that they use to mark your place in the world, like to find your quests, blends in with the map, and makes it so that I can never find anything.
Okay.
And then when I'm in the game, that same diamond is obnoxious as fuck.
Okay.
And blocks my view of things. It's like the worst design ever. So I don't want it there.
Okay. Simple
And
enough.
I would completely play the game on like a minimal HUD if the game actually took away that fucking icon. I hate their icons so much for finding your quest. Like, I just want to fucking pee on it. It's terrible.
Okay, Cat Daddy.
Sure.
It's Cat Daddy. But so I figured out that the only way to get rid of it is to take the entire HUD away. Now, I did do some things. I completely increased the auto aim to full.
Okay.
Because I don't even have a point when I aim my
yeah.
arrows.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Yeah, it sounds bad.
But no, I've adjusted to it.
Who
and I'm
needs
good now.
radicals?
Good.
I'm happy.
Good.
Wonderful.
I'm enjoying it.
Wonder
Perfect.
bar.
So, wait,
Great.
are we going with my topic first?
I guess so if you want.
I mean, sure.
I'll do it. I don't care.
Yeah, Snacks. What's your topic?
I changed my topic.
Again?
Yeah.
Come on, dude.
No, I'll do something weird.
You
and
are so
different.
changeable.
We vetted his topic before the show began.
Yeah,
and
that's
he
true.
changed it last
Yeah,
minute. He
so
fucked
like,
us up.
I'm curious then, because like, you know, it's just like a whatever topic at this point. We're just kind of rolling with it. What was your guys' first introduction to games? What was the first game you played, if you remember? Did you ever fall out of games? Has it always been there? Tell me. Right now.
That wasn't even a topic. That was
That
just
was
him
just a
like
question.
asking us.
I
the
know. I
question.
feel like
No, it's
I'm being interviewed.
What is like what do you remember? Like your first like experience? Because like I'm like mine is like very clear in my head. I was like 5 or 6 years old, and I just remember this weird gray box on the ground, and my sister called it a Super Nintendo.
Ooh.
And seeing like all this crazy stuff happening on screen, I was like, what's going on this? Why does she keep looking at this book like for information on it? It's like it doesn't make any sense. She's like, well, it's called Zelda. I was like, oh, okay. And like slowly just watching as she played, and like maybe taking the controller once in a while when she would like go up to like get something to eat, and then being like, I don't understand how to play this, but it's cool. And watching her go from literally the beginning of this game
Who
to
was this?
beating Ganon, my sister. And
Is your sister older?
yeah, she's a couple years older than me, but it's very vivid in my mind just watching her play Link to the Past on Super Nintendo, and just always being like, this is awesome. Like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen in the 5 years I've been alive. And it just spurring this interest to play everything, like wanting to get anything that comes out, seeing a Game Boy for the first time and wanting that, like figuring out what PlayStation is and like playing Crash Bandicoot for the first time. It's crazy to think of. Like when you think about it, like what spurred your interest to get to this level to where you're now talking at a table with two other people?
Is she still a gamer?
No, she plays like once in a while, but she just plays Super Nintendo.
Oh, that's her thing.
Yeah, that's her thing. So,
my very first game and I remember it vividly was Duck Hunt, and I was like,
Duck
why
Hunt.
is this dog fucking laughing at me?
He's
Fuck
a
this
fucking
dog.
dick.
Like
Fuck
I was
that
so
dog.
mad about the dog that it didn't even matter. But I fell out of gaming for a little while around the I want to say the 64 era until I played Super Mario 64, which was it is the pivotal game for me that made me love gaming.
It's a game changer for sure.
It changed my life, and it's the reason why it will forever be on one of my top 10 games forever, because it is the game that made me interested in gaming in general.
Is that the first Mario game to have 3D?
Yeah.
Yes, it was the first 3D Mario game.
That is the first 3D game I ever witnessed.
It's a phenomenal game, and I still play it every time they relaunch it. Like, it doesn't matter. I'm buying it.
Strike that. Virtual Fighter was the first 3D game I ever witnessed.
Virtual Fighter's okay. Not as good as Super
That was the
Mario.
first console 3D game I ever witnessed.
Dope. And then that was the game that changed my life, and to the point where I wanted to make video games because of Super Mario 64, and it was my dream. But I will say that the reason why I'm the only person in the world who doesn't like Breath of the Wild is because I never played a Zelda game until Twilight Princess.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I never touched the Zelda game. Like, everyone's like, oh, there's the Zelda game. And I'm like, meh, I'll play something else. And then I played Twilight Princess, and I didn't like it quite so much. So, like, everyone's like, blah, 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 Legend of Zelda. And I'm like,
Twilight Princess is so bad. Too. Good God.
Oh, wait. So that's why you didn't play Breath of the Wild?
I did play Breath of the Wild, and I literally just picked apples for like an hour and was like, okay, this was good, I guess.
Oh, you still don't love it?
I don't love it. I think because I don't have any I don't have great experiences with Legend of Zelda, like growing up or anything like that. Like, I have no nostalgia factor for it.
That's totally a thing where, like, I think about things like Half-Life, and people are like, Half-Life is insane. It's never going to be finished, and it sucks. And it's like, I don't know. I played Half-Life 2 for the first time when the Orange Box came out, and that game just didn't resonate with me at all.
Right.
And, like, I guess it's like you have to just follow it all the way through from, like, I guess what Black Mesa is now, or like original Half-Life.
Right.
And then you just really had to follow it all the way through, but like, especially for when it came out and like how revolutionary that engine was.
Right.
That Valve was selling. But like playing it now, or like when I did, it was just like, all right, it's just
This
like a
was
first person
cool, I
shooter.
guess.
This gravity gun's cool, like, but just didn't resonate with me. I have no affinity for Half-Life. I don't respect it at all for what it is, outside the fact that it had a cool engine when it came out. Like, it's just a sci-fi game to me.
Right.
I'm the same way. I played Half-Life 2 with the Orange Box, and my biggest takeaway from the Orange Box was Portal.
Yeah,
It wasn't
everyone.
Half-Life 2 at
totally.
all.
Portal was insane.
Portal's the only. When I used to work at a very big game store, that was the only selling factor of the Orange Box was, hey, you could not play Portal.
Yeah.
Like, that was legit.
Wait, did you just sub very big game store for like GameStop?
I did. I try not to
You don't even
remember
work
the
there.
fact that I work there.
It's like
Good
you don't even
times.
work there. You
I
don't
don't
have to
even
fake
work
that
there,
out.
but I don't like them.
Yeah.
You don't want to admit that you worked
Yeah,
for GameStop.
I did not work
Yeah.
for GameStop.
Portal got me back into games because, like, during high school, like, I had fallen out. I was just doing other things. I was like
Right.
doing music stuff and just like doing
Being
lot
a cool guy.
No, doing like a lot of rude and ignorant things as a teenager. But
So being a teenager.
yeah, sure.
Orange Box debuted on the OG Xbox or the
360,
360.
360
Got it.
PS3, and yeah, I just remember seeing it, and I thought Team Fortress 2 actually was like the selling point for me. I thought Team Fortress 2 looked cool, but then like playing Portal all the way through, I was like, this is wild. I think I beat that game in one sitting, honestly. Like, it was like that.
Yeah, for me it was like
Level.
It
one
was
or
really
two.
good.
Yeah, and then I immediately went out and I bought like a shit ton of other things for like a 360.
It's just it bakes your fucking noodle, dude. Like when you're trying to play it and you're trying to think like upside down at one point, like, you know, like you had to like try and figure out like where should I put the portal so that like this thing like falls into this. And,
Yeah.
like, I don't like puzzle games. I really don't. But
something like that.
that game
Yeah.
like like pulled me in. Like I really enjoyed it. It was well done.
That's cool. Yeah.
Didn't make me like hate it. They weren't too hard.
Yeah.
You know, like I guess I'm too stupid for some puzzles.
Doubt it.
You know?
I just really love puzzle games. Like that's just
They're
my-
great.
I don't.
That's
I
my
don't.
thing.
And I've admitted that on the podcast like numerous times. But like, I don't know. Portal broke me down when I did it. You know, and I didn't hate it.
What was the first thing you ever played? Do you remember?
I do. And this is going to be like, it's like I'm going to be speaking about some kind of weird, archaic thing. You know, like a. All right.
You had to take your glasses off for this.
Have you guys ever heard of ColecoVision?
Yeah.
I have.
Yeah. My first experience with a game console that shows my age was the ColecoVision, and I experienced it over my aunt's place Thanksgiving. So we always went to my dad's sister's place, my Aunt Carol. We would go to her place for Thanksgiving, which was across town or whatever. And when we went over there, I don't think I really understood what it was. Some kid was playing it. I don't even know who that kid was. He might be related to me. Maybe
We'll just
not.
call him
Hank.
Barry.
Hank. Barry Hank.
Barry Hank.
Barry Hank.
Barry Hank.
So Barry,
Get on in this room now, Barry Hank. We got to eat us a turkey dinner.
Barry fucking Hank was playing this weird thing, and it was Pong.
Oh, okay.
Because ColecoVision, one of the titles
Yeah.
you could get
Was
on
Pong.
ColecoVision
It's wild.
was Pong.
Holy shit.
And you know what they fucking used?
Yeah, they use the little
Little-
turnies.
They used the turns. In fact, I don't think on ColecoVision they could use the license name Pong. So it wasn't called Pong. I think it was
Probably
called
like tennis.
It was ColecoVision Tennis.
Yeah.
Right.
Or ColecoVision Tabletop.
Yeah,
Tennis,
Something
Yeah.
like
whatever.
that.
And you just had two bars on each side that moved back and forth, and you had the little ball that went back and forth, and you had these paddles. They called them paddles, and the paddles had a turning knob, and you would just turn the knob to move the bar on one side and move the bar on the other side.
Yeah.
And I got obsessed with it, and I loved it that year. Next year I come around. I don't remember the age of what year when these things came into play.
Right.
Because it's so long ago.
Yeah,
But
totally.
the next year I came around, Rocky 3 had just debuted.
Mr. T.
Yeah.
Apollo
And
Creed
the
dies.
the-
Spoilers.
Hey.
No, he doesn't die in that one.
Yeah, he does. 3, he dies. No, he dies.
Clubber Lang kills him? No.
Yeah, he does.
No, I thought he was killed by the Russian.
Oh, wait, maybe he does get killed by the Russian.
In 4.
Again, the only person in Philadelphia
No.
who's never seen anything
He's
past Rocky
killed
1.
by the Russian in 4. Right?
I'm almost positive Mr. T kills him.
I don't. Maybe he died twice. he got killed. He got killed in Rocky 3. And then they just brought him back to life and didn't explain it. He just happened to be at the beginning of Rocky 4.
Ivan Drago killed Apollo Creed.
God damn it.
I was so fucking right.
They definitely fought. Mr. T definitely fought Apollo Creed.
I don't think that's even true.
I think you're just making things up now,
Whatever.
Sean.
I
I
don't remember.
think.
Snacks.
Okay, I think Apollo Creed was his manager and his guy
Who
in
cares?
the corner.
Continue.
He was Rocky's guy in the corner.
Let's go back to
Okay,
this
so
year.
let me finish. So the next year around, I go, and Rocky 3, I guess, had just come out or whatever.
Sure.
This is in the late 80s. And they came out with, for the ColecoVision, a Rocky game. I don't know if it was called Rocky 3 or if it was just called Rocky, but I know Clubber Lang was in it. And I know Rocky was in it. And you had two characters and you could fight. And that boxing game was amazing to me. Like the best graphics I'd ever gotten. So I went and got nuts and kept telling my parents at like every event, I want a ColecoVision, I want a ColecoVision, I want a ColecoVision, I want a ColecoVision.
Yeah.
And I was driving my parents up the wall and they didn't want to buy this expensive thing.
And they're like, I ain't buying no chameleon vision.
Right, exactly.
No Nintendo.
They had no idea what the fuck this shit was. Video games were so new, like home console
Totally.
video
Yeah.
games in the late 80s were so new. Well, not really. Nintendo.
Oh, no, they're new. Are you
This
They're
wouldn't,
new.
I guess this wouldn't have been the late 80s. This would have been like mid 80s
Right.
because Nintendo wasn't even in fashion at this time.
It was doing stuff like, well, mid 80s.
It came out in 85,
I mean, it wasn't- Yeah.
but
Yeah.
that might have been only in Japan.
I'm going to say, I don't think
Like,
it
I
was
don't-
here.
I don't think Nintendo got really hot over here until like the late 80s. And I didn't get an actual Nintendo until the 90s.
Okay.
Okay.
But anyway, the point I'm getting at is I kept going nuts to my parents about get me this, get me this, get me this. And my parents went out and bought what I thought at the time was like the Bobo ColecoVision. They bought me the wrong console.
Oh no!
How fucking terrifying is that? Your parents got you a gift,
real bad.
and you want to tell your fucking friends about this amazing thing. You thought they got you the ColecoVision, and instead they bought you the Atari 2600.
Ooh.
Oh, so they bought you.
And you didn't know that this is not the Bobo ColecoVision. This is better than the ColecoVision.
You're right.
So now I was the kid on the block who had an Atari.
And then everybody was like...
And everybody wanted to come over to my fucking house and play it.
Dope.
Yeah, people were always coming over.
You just walked into school, you had the popped collar and the glasses.
my,
and
my good friend Mike down the road, he got one right after me. We
Yeah.
both had Ataris, and we started loading up on games and trading games. And like, getting
Nice.
fucking nuts with it.
So cool.
That was my first console, and but my first memory was ColecoVision.
It's cool.
Yeah. Dope. I almost want to change my topic now.
I don't know. I just
I don't
thought
know. I
you're
just
weird with
didn't-
it.
I liked how you did it as a question.
It was a
Well,
question.
that's the thing. Is like
Now I want to come up with a good question.
I know.
Well,
Wait, no,
it's
no,
your
it's
guys'
goes.
turns. So
It's your turn.
whatever you.
Oh, you want me to go next?
Yeah.
go ahead.
What was my fucking topic?
I think we just took your topic technically.
Yeah.
Oh, because I was gonna go like retro.
Yeah, you're a retro games.
No, I don't really have a question. I guess I was just going to talk about how Mrs. Felix has been baking a Raspberry Pi for me.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
So that's really fun. I said that on stream, and like numerous people in the stream had no idea what we were talking about. So let me explain a little bit to anyone who might be listening. When I say that Mrs. Felix has been baking a Raspberry Pi, we're referring to it's the company Raspberry Pi. I don't know.
You're just making a pie full of games.
No, a Raspberry Pi is a computer that can be used for any purpose.
Emulation, pretty much.
But one main purpose that people use it for is they use it for emulating. And the coolest thing about this, going back, keeping with the theme of the retro, because you brought that up, right? I'm able to dig into all kinds of shit that I haven't played in years. So, what's really cool, my favorite thing to do, because if the ColecoVision was at home and the Atari was at home or whatever, the ultimate was not that shit. That was not the most amazing thing that was available to you at that time for video games. That was what you had at home, and that was always second rate to what you wanted. Which is a giant arcade cabinet in your house with the graphics that you saw when you went to the arcade. The arcade had the sheen and the beauty and the color and the art and all of that cool shit at that time. Now home consoles have that, but at that time it was like go to the arcade, and
Play the pinball machine.
For me, no, I'm just post pinball, but they were around. I remember it. No, but when I went to the arcade, man, I was mesmerized by games like Final Fight and Bad Dudes.
Yeah.
You ever heard of Bad Dudes?
Yes.
I feel like I have. Yeah.
Fucking Bad Dudes, man.
Bad Dudes. I remember
Fighting aliens, man, with karate.
That was.
But those, in this game, it was a fucking weird game that I loved. I was obsessed with it because it was like panoramic. It was like a Tarantino movie,
right?
Like when you would look at it, but it was called Ninja Warriors, and it was just a side-scrolling game where you're this ninja that walks, right? And you had knives and Chinese stars, and you would just walk forward. And I guess there was a blue one and a red one, and the red one had a ponytail coming out. So I guess you always perceived the blue one as the boy, and I don't know. These are things you think about.
Why are you gender identifying them?
I did.
You can't assume their gender.
As a kid, but. Oh no! The red one with the ponytail had tits. I forgot.
Oh, okay. So there we go.
I totally forgot. They did it. I didn't do it.
Assuming their gender.
But I always wanted to play as the red one with the ponytail. But anyway, you walk forward as this ninja. You're killing like soldiers, right? Who were shooting at you, and or something like that. And as you get hit, pieces of your clothes fall off.
Explains why you always wanted to be the red one down, doesn't it?
Maybe. And underneath, you find out that it's a robot. It's a ninja warrior.
What the fuck?
Robot.
That's scary, man.
And as you're walking,
Robots.
like eventually, like the clothing comes off, and you're like a Terminator. You're like a Terminator
It's terrifying.
with
Ninja.
knives. Like
That is the most 80s thing.
It is the most 80s thing.
and it had that music too. You know, like the 80s like
Creepy.
thumping soundtrack, like Kung Fury type shit.
Yo, Kung Fury.
It's a great game.
Speaking of 80s arcade games, and my friend just recently brought it back up to me that we played it, but there was a Michael Jackson Moonwalker side-scrolling game.
Goddamn right,
Yeah.
there
And it was so great. Like, I forgot
Have you ever
about
played
it,
it?
Fucking loved
but
it.
it was so great. Oh, yeah, definitely.
It's fucking awesome.
It's so fun. But I was
Moonwalker
like, I
was
forgot. Moonwalker, everything was amazing to me.
Arcades are fun. Like that's like there's so much like cool shit that would happen in arcades. I wish I could have experienced that the way like
The cool
they
80s.
did. Yeah, there's all kinds of weird
arcade,
shit. Like
yeah.
stuff like fighting games with like Street Fighter and stuff. They'd go so fucking hard in that shit. It'd be something where it's like if you want to fight somebody, you'd put your quarter.
Well, put your
on
quarter
the
down.
You put
You
your quarter
liter-
down, and that'd be like, "Hey, asshole, I'm next."
Yeah.
You would
Going for it.
walk in. So I used to go to Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. I don't know if you guys have ever been there.
No. Oh wait,
I know-
yes.
I know it
I've been there.
exists.
I was like 12.
So Rehoboth Beach,
Surprise!
Delaware had Ryan's Arcade. It was my favorite place to go. You go to Ryan's Arcade and you walk in and you knew where the Street Fighter cabinet was because you had this crowd of fuckers like surrounded around the Street Fighter cabinet, and people were just cheering, and it was like, who's being Baraka, you know, like who's being, you know,
Baraka's-
Chun-Li, like
Baraka
is not a Street Fighter.
is
not
Monster-
Baraka, not Baraka.
Is Mortal Kombat.
Give the green guy,
Blanca.
Thank you. You're right. It is Mortal Kombat.
That was
I knew
Mortal
that.
Kombat.
I knew that.
He
I knew
came
that.
in Mortal Kombat 3, by the way.
Thank you.
Sorry.
But yeah, so like who's being who, and then it transferred and it became Mortal Kombat, and this other game that was fucking weird that people might not remember. Did you ever heard of a game called Pit Fighter?
No.
Vaguely.
It used it might even be made by the people who made Mortal Kombat, but it used the same kind of like video mocap technique.
Yeah.
Where you like that photoreal like technique. Like Mortal Kombat originally used, but you were pit fighters. It was bloody and arms could be pulled off. It was awesome.
Hot. I'm into it.
It's cool.
Yeah, but yeah, like I loved the arcades. I always had a good time going in there, and I always played like I would just go in with like $10 worth of quarters. Man, I put so much money into machines when I was a kid.
If you got into like any arcades with like really hardcore Street Fighter players, they like
I wasn't good.
there would be like guys that were so hardcore into it that they would throw their jackets over their hands when they played, so that the other person couldn't see their moves and like how they're pulling off.
Oh yeah.
Hadoukens
I
and
remember
shit.
that.
Yeah.
I remember that was happening
And,
a lot.
and they would go so dedicated to it. They had like a whole rule set, like a hidden rule set and stuff. It'd be like if you tried to throw somebody,
Right.
you got a free hit because it's like, that's cheap, dude. You can't just throw me. Fight me like a real man. Fucking do it.
It got really, really hardcore. And if I don't know if the 40th Street Arcade, if you're from Philly, you pretty much know about it, but the 40th Street Arcade was still like that up until like last year, where like hardcore Street Fighter or Marvel vs. Capcom players were, that was their lives. Like they stayed there, and it was really interesting to
It's hard
see.
to keep those machines up. It's
It
like
is.
they're old. You got to know somebody that knows like the whole insides of them. Like there's like barcades and stuff. That's probably the most like accessible thing you'll find nowadays. Like
Right.
that even has those, and those are cool. But like I don't know.
Well, that's what's so fucked up these days. Like I said this a couple shows back, but like I went back to Ryan's Arcade recently.
Right.
I went down with my parents. My parents live probably 20 or 30 minutes away from that beach.
Right.
I went to their house. We went out to the boardwalk. I said, let's go into Ryan's Arcade. And I walk in there, and there are no arcade games. It's so fucking sad because all that's in there are games of chance.
Right.
Like it's nothing
It
but
gets-
like what were those things you saw when you went to Japan?
Pachinko
Crane games,
machines.
pachinko machines, crane
Yeah.
games.
That's all it was. Pinball. Not
Pinball.
pinball. Skee ball.
Skee ball.
Lots of skee ball was in
Right,
there.
right.
The kind of games where you just win tickets and then walk up to a counter and get a
And
prize.
then get tickets.
Get a free comb.
Get a free comb. There there's a arcade in Exton, PA, that's called Round One. There's a lot of them in Japan. It brings a really it's a Japanese feel, but it brings back a lot of the cool arcade systems. So there's a lot of like retro. There's like a retro gaming area full of arcade games. That's pretty cool. If anyone ever gets a chance to check that out, that's
cool.
Yeah, they're around. There's a lot of them, but like they definitely brought the Japanese arcade over here, and it's really interesting.
The goal for that Raspberry Pi once it's fully developed.
Right, we were talking about that.
Yeah,
pretty much just turned into an arcade.
Well,
discussion.
no,
I miss arcades.
Yeah, I do too.
The goal for that Raspberry Pi is to put it into a cabinet one day when we have more space.
Oh, that's so big, dude. They make so much noise. I don't know if you'd want that in a home setting.
Well, it wouldn't be, like I said, in this environment, it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
But like in, like a bigger house that we get one day in a room that's off from any main room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It would be cool to have one.
That'd be dope.
And then, I don't know. Insert coin, bitch.
Okay.
Insert a coin. Press start to play.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
But I'm also adding on to the Raspberry Pi. I'm adding the PlayStation 1 titles that I loved. Because the first console I bought for myself was a PlayStation 1. I had been doing some kind of odd job work, or I think that was maybe when I first started working in a restaurant. I was a bus person when I was 14 years old.
Get these dishes. Oh, good.
Oh, I got to the point where I had been working so much that my school studies were going down the tube, and me and my mom got in a huge fight when she brought me back from my job one night, like 11:30 at night. We were screaming in the front yard because she said I got to stop working so hard and I have to focus on my studies more. And I was really pissed about it because I was making so much fucking money bussing tables.
Yeah.
That's what all the cool kids do.
It was fucking great. Work your ass off.
Hell yeah.
I started at 14, dude. It was nuts.
That's where, yeah.
This is a little side thing, but I was in the restaurant and my dad said something like, he's like, you're 14 years old. Why don't you go get a job? And I was like, where? He's like, how about here? I'm like, what?
I can do that?
He's like, see that lady over there?
It's like impossible now.
Right, like 14. You can do
he's like, see that lady over there? She's a manager. Go walk over to her and ask her for a job. And I stood up, walked over to this lady, and I go, do you got any work here? She was
you got the works?
She was like,
hey, you got that works?
She's like, go up to the host stand and fill out an application. And I was like, okay. I filled out an application, got a call the next day. Come down and be a bus person. I was like, weird.
Come down and be a bus
Come on
person.
down.
Bring the family.
Yeah, but I was
crazy.
working. I was making all this money, and the first thing
That's
I bought like some ancient cathode ray Sony TV at the time. It was a
I thought you were going to say an ancient catheter. I was like, oh, God.
No, cathode
What kind of weird things are you into?
cathode ray TV,
Cat daddy.
the big fucking huge TVs, right?
Okay.
Not like I don't know. It was probably a fucking.
That's cool.
It was like probably a 20-inch TV.
Man, look at these memory lanes.
I know.
I bought one of those, and do you remember the first console you bought? You bought yourself.
Yeah, it was the
with
Xbox
your own money.
360.
Xbox 360.
I saved up for a whole. I saw like all the press announcements and everything when it was coming out. I think I started saving that February. It was supposed to come out that November. This is actually really funny. Had all the money, planned it out. I was like, this is how much it's going to be. I'm going to get the high-end one with the big hard drive. It'll work out. And then by the time like summer hit, I was like, oh, cool. I'll be able to have enough money for 2 games. Pre-ordered Cameo, Elements of Power.
Oh my God,
whatever.
Cameo.
That game is so forgettable. Also
Jesus.
pre-ordered Call of Duty 2 because I played the demo of it in like FYE and I was like, this game is insane.
Speaking of memory lane, FYE though.
I know.
Which, by the way, was called The Wall originally.
Oh my God.
That's wild. So
that's how old I am.
Come November, the system launches. Fucking go to try and get my copy, and the guy's like, well, you're on a wait list. I'm like, what do you mean? What's a wait list? I pre-ordered the system. It's like, right, but all these people ahead of you pre-ordered it first.
Oh, God.
So I didn't even get it, and I was so sad. December 24th of that year, got a phone call in a Chinese restaurant. Hey, we have an Xbox for you. You have to come and get it today. Scrambling, calling my mom and dad. Can you guys pick it up on the way home from work? Yeah, they grabbed it for me, hooked it up. Fucking immediately I'm like, where's this plug going to my TV? I'm still rocking an old CRT.
Oh.
I don't have HDMI. I'm like, what? I don't have the right TV. My parents felt bad, so they went out and got me a little 32-inch HD TV from.
Oh, that's
for
so
it.
sweet.
And I played it all Christmas break. I was fucking in heaven. It was the best.
Did you say OG Xbox or
Xbox 360.
360.
Yeah. So like, I didn't have the original Xbox. I was coming from PS2, and I was like, next gen looks crazy. But my parents were like, I'm not buying that, and I was like, then I'm gonna buy it.
Oh,
And
look
I
at
did.
you.
Yeah.
Like the black color one, like I have down there.
No,
Or
I
the
think
dark gray, black one.
Like that
no.
and white.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the first one was white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got red ringed like 3 fucking times.
Lovely.
Isn't it crazy that 360 down there? Not a single red ring ever.
That's wild.
I would say
That's impressive.
mine still never got a red ring.
Yeah.
The first one I purchased was an OG Xbox actually, and I got it from selling. It was in Girl Scout cookies, but like we would bake things at my house and sell them on the street or whatever. That sounded really like a drug deal, but it wasn't. But it was the OG Xbox, and the first game.
What were you baking?
Cookies and brownies.
Brownies?
And, just things.
Baked in real nice.
Baked
leafy
real
green,
nice.
Leafy green.
Yeah. But I bought it, and it came with this little demo disc that has like all these demos on it, but it also had Jet Set Radio Future, which is again one of my top 10 games ever. And it was my favorite game. It was my favorite thing to do, that at some point I would just turn on the Xbox, leave it on so I can listen to the music of the
Yeah.
game and just do literally anything else.
I knew people in high school that just had an Xbox just to play the Jet Set Radio music.
That's all I wanted. I just wanted Jet Set Radio music, and
I don't
it
know
was
if
my
I
favorite
even
thing.
know what that is.
Yeah, you don't need to know what it is.
It's
at
all
this
right,
point,
don't
yeah.
worry.
Well,
about it.
I specifically had an OG Xbox that I bought from someone else that still had the demo disc with it.
Yeah, it came with like Sega GT 2002, Jet Set Radio, and then it had demos for like Buffy the Vampire Slayer was one of the.
Is that a game?
Yeah, that was a game. I
Jesus.
beat that game, by the way,
Based on the movie or the TV show?
on the TV show.
Wow.
Vex, which was a really weird platformer that I
I
very much
remember
enjoyed.
Vex. It was
Yes.
a weird looking Wolverine with blue
Yes,
hair. Holy
he was
shit.
so cool. What else? It came with a bunch of like really random things, and Sega GT 2002 was the only racing game I played. So
Jeez.
it was my
Cool.
OG Xbox.
No memory.
Favorite
So
thing.
there's no one else left, Flower.
Oh, that means I have to actually talk
Yeah.
about things. Lame.
What do you want to talk about?
You guys just went together so well. I just want to talk about random indie games that I've been playing.
Well, let's do it.
Yeah, so like I go on the PlayStation Network and just buy like dumb $5 indie games that look horrendous.
I bought one on the Switch, but I'm not stealing your thunder.
No,
Go
it's
ahead.
okay. So like recently I was playing a game called Virginia, which is like there's no dialogue. It's one of those very artsy games, except the art's not like super great. It's actually really bad, and it's one of my favorite parts about the game is that the art's so bad. But like it also has like this really cool like kind of 90s cult TV show kind of thing, like plot twist, like there's aliens at some point. Like it's very Twin Peaks, X-Files kind of things that goes on in it.
What can you buy this game on?
PlayStation Network, Xbox, Steam, like just all the regular
Okay,
stuff.
but-
And it like I had been waiting on it. It was like
Switch.
it was like
It's on the Switch, too?
$5.99.
So, yeah.
It was like $5.99 for like the longest time, and I had been waiting. I was like, it's going to go on sale. And then it didn't, so I spent $5.99 on it. And then like the next day, it was 99 cents, and I was really mad. I was so bad. But like there's very little like actual gameplay. Like you don't really do much as far as game. There's a lot of like interacting, looking at things like that. But
Kinda
it's
like
really
Witness?
cool.
No.
The Witness actually had like puzzles and stuff.
Oh, it didn't have so it doesn't have puzzles.
No, it doesn't have puzzles. It's a very narrative game. But
like
speaking
Firewatch, I guess, would be
a lot like
closer
Firewatch.
comparison,
But speaking of The Witness, at some points, if you think of it as like a prequel to The Witness, it actually kind of fits. But like, because it has a lot of the same aesthetic features, except in crappy art style,
Yeah.
as opposed to The Witness's beautiful art style, which is
man.
very interesting. But yeah, all I've been doing is playing indie games and having
cool.
fun with
Is that
it.
the only one?
What else was I playing? I played that. I played one called Calvino Noir, which was really weird, black and white 1950s like noir kind of thing, where you choked police officers, which was really weird.
Whoa, what was that?
You choke police officers.
What's it called?
Calvino Noir. You choke police officers was what I got out of that.
That's
whole
on
game.
that's on the Apple TV.
Is it?
Yeah, you can buy that. I think you can buy that on the Apple TV.
Yeah. Well, buy
Or
it
download
and
the
choke
demo,
police
maybe?
officers. It's a lot
I
of fun.
fucked with it. Like it's got like a definitely like a 1950s thing.
It has the like the nice little jazz music in the
Yeah, you
background.
start off,
There's
you
like
go-
puzzles probably, but like the only thing I do is choke police officers. So maybe there's more to the game.
Can I just quickly segue into the indie that I downloaded
Yes.
on the Switch?
Definitely.
It's called Guns, Gore, and Cannoli.
Okay.
And it's funny that you brought up jazzy music because it takes place in like the 40s. And it's got jazzy music, but you're a gangster who's killing zombies.
That's dope.
Yeah, it's really bloody and ghastly and weird. And it's 2-player. Sorry, it's up to 4. So when you come over and we do like...
You're going to make me play Guns, Gore, and Cannoli?
Yeah, I think we should try it.
Okay.
Anyway, that was just a side thing.
Not enough cocoa.
Anything else?
I don't know. That was where I was playing Pyre thanks to a recommendation of Snacks the Cat. But I really didn't get that far in it. So.
Pyre's fucking dope. Oh my god.
Tell us more about it.
So fucking good. Like Pyre's by Supergiant Games, and they're the guys that did Transistor and Bastion. So it's like got this beautiful art style, and the whole idea is that you're making like a basketball team of magicians. And that's like not even a joke. Because like the whole idea is like you're in a purgatory.
Oh yeah, you showed me this.
Yeah,
the basketball game.
Yeah, you're
with magic.
Yeah, you're in a purgatory.
Almost as if you just said that.
Yeah.
I know he just said it, but no, it reminded me of the fact that he sat down with me and showed me footage of the game. Like,
I think that nobody played this game, unfortunately, and it just came out this last year, and like it's so fucking good. But like basically, you're in a purgatory, and you're stuck there with a bunch of exileds, which are people that committed crimes in like their lifetime, and they got banished to this this place called the Downside, which is purgatory. And in order to regain their freedom, they have to partake in these things called rites, which are like the basketball games. And they're like these traditions of magic that they make them do in order to eventually regain their humanity to go back to their normal lives. So you're gathering this ragtag team of like guys to be on your team so that you can learn about them and help them and, basically come back to life. And you're this special thing called the reader, because written word just in like English is forbidden, but you are one of the only people that can read it. Everybody speaks in like tongues, and sometimes only people that are also readers will speak in English to you, because there's like dialogue, but then like they're all speaking like random tongue, and it's really artsy and cool. But then once in a while somebody will be like, you can understand me, right? And you're like, holy shit, he's a reader. He knows what I'm saying. He can read what I'm reading, because the books you're reading are in English, but nobody can read them. So like, you know how to commit the rites and what you're supposed to be doing. But the whole gameplay hook is you're basically passing an orb back and forth to each other. You're forming a team of the guys that you have on the sidelines, and you're putting them in these competitions to like dunk them into a burning like net called a
this
pyre.
sounds like Harry Potter meets NBA.
It's totally
NBA
Quidditch.
Jam.
It's Quidditch with
yeah.
It's
That's
definitely
exactly what it is. And like it's so fucking cool because there's so many mechanics like with like passing it back and forth and like shooting spells at enemies to like wipe them off the board. And like there's really cool looking creatures.
The game is definitely beautiful. Like it's a super giant game, so you kind of get used to it. But like, it's a beautiful. The music's beautiful
insanely like methodical, and just like it's got such a good like rhythm to everything. But it's like it's really hard not to recommend it, because like I've never like played a game in a while that's been like so accessible with its lore, because like it's very much so in its own world, and it uses this highlighting feature where if it says like a weird word like a right or like the name of like a person, it'll be in yellow, and when you go to scroll over it with your cursor, it'll say, this is what this is. A right is one of the old gods' traditions of this game, or this is a god that was banished from the other gods in the world. So they, like, when people talk about this, like, you're not even allowed to, because, like, that god is fucked up, and like it's looked at as blasphemy to bring up their name even. So like it's just got this really cool, interesting world, and you're learning about them, and you care about these people on your team because they'll tell you why they got banished and what's on the other side waiting for them. And then like it'll be like, well, maybe I want to send this person off like to go live their life, and that'll make people on your other team jealous, and they'll be like, why didn't you send me? Or they'll be like, it's okay that you didn't send me, even though I've been down here for 16 years and I'm still here. Thanks, man. And it's like, oh fuck,
Guilting the
I
fuck
didn't
out
mean
of
it
you.
for it to be like that, dude. But like it's really thought out, and you stop caring about just doing the rights, and you care a lot about who's on your team and why you want to send them off, or maybe why you don't want to send them off. And it's like, if I send off this one guy, like he's cool, but he's kind of the leader in my team. And then if I send him off, who's going to be the voice or like be the reason for us to keep going? And then it's like, well, this person's kind of a leader. I think they could do it. And then you see them organically form up to that role as that person leaves. Because once somebody's gone, you get to choose who leaves and who stays.
Right.
So you're literally forming your own path with whoever's on your team. And some of the guys on your team won't fight with other people. They'll be like, that person is the reason I'm down here. I'm not fighting them with them on your team. So when you go to actually do these rights, it'll be like, you can't have them on the same team with each other. They just don't fucking mesh. It's like, it's like, look, I know you want me, but like, I'm not fighting with that fucking person. Or it'll be like, I'm too proud to fight with this person for this reason. It's like, it's very thought out, and it's like an incredible game.
What
And
can we find Pyre on?
Steam, PS4, possibly Xbox. But like, it's funny because if you've played Transistor or Bastion, the narrators of both those games are the announcer of the rights in Pyre, and they sound nothing alike. Like, it's crazy, like, just like what this guy that does the voice acting for this game, for Supergiant Games, is able to do with his voice. It's like very impressive.
Cool.
But it's just got its claws stuck in me so hard. It's like all I want to play right now.
Yeah, I'd love it when you get a game that you just like can't stop thinking at your, you'll go to your actual job and you're like thinking about the game all day long.
Like,
Yeah.
I should instead be playing Quidditch.
I should just quit this.
Yeah.
and just not be here.
Yeah.
Dope.
He never played NBA Jam.
No, I didn't.
Did you ever play it?
No.
Neither.
It looks way more interesting than actual basketball.
Wasn't it awesome?
Yeah.
It's the
all
big
kinds
head.
of shit.
It's
People
the
are,
big
like,
head
swinging
game,
arms.
right?
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, I did play that then. Yeah.
Yeah.
remember
I mean,
that.
it came out like the arcade version is what I always love playing, but like it did eventually make it to like multiple consoles.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I used to play it a lot. I don't care about sports games, but that game's fucking
Gotcha.
weird.
Yeah.
Oh, and the other thing I wanted to tell you about that game, you know how you put the birthdays in the beginning and everything?
Yeah.
I forgot. I thought it was weird reflecting on that again, like that it has the birthday thing in the beginning, and I forgot when you put in certain birthdays, very specific, you get special characters. It was one of the first games I ever experienced that
Cheat
added
codes.
Had cheat codes.
no, but one of the special characters it added was Bill Clinton. You could
I want to play as big head Bill Clinton.
You can fucking rock a bobblehead fucking Bill Clinton.
That's wild.
Yeah, I forgot about
dope.
that. There's multiple characters that you can add to the game. I mean, one of the biggest in all sports games all throughout my childhood, one of the characters you could never get in games was Michael Jordan because his licensing fees were way too high and games couldn't afford to pay him.
Right.
So he was never in any games. In fact,
That's
so-
right. He wasn't even in the Looney Tunes game.
yeah, you would play like,
The Space Jam game,
You would
rather.
play the Chicago Bulls in NBA Live 95 and like 23 would be not named.
Wow.
You'd have every other like basketball player but except number 23.
Wow, that's crazy.
He was not in the Space Jam game. I'm sorry. I'm
But
remembering
like
the Space
in
Jam game.
NBA Jam, you could like put in a specific, year of birth or whatever and I believe Michael Jordan could be a character in the game. Like it was nuts.
Okay.
Dope.
I brought that up like that was something we were talking about during the show earlier. And that was
It's all right.
actually just me and you just sitting around looking at my Raspberry Pi.
Yeah, and then you started playing it, and it's like, dude, we gotta fucking.
One thing I never played that I put on there, Flower, is Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Oh, we played the first 5 minutes of it.
Oh, Castlevania is like one of my like legit favorite games.
yeah,
So
yeah,
good.
yeah. So I
that's
put
really
that
cool.
I put that on there. So I intend to play that
Dope.
eventually.
Do it.
And the cool
Do
thing
it.
about the Raspberry Pi is it's HDMI, so I can plug it into my capture card and just stream the shit.
And stream the fuck out of it.
So it'd be cool.
dope.
It'd be really fun.
Crash Bandicoot was on the screen when I came in, and I was really excited because I love Crash Bandicoot. And then I played Crash Bandicoot again, and I was like, oh wait, I didn't really love Crash Bandicoot, did I?
The remaster.
Yeah, like,
oh god, that was such a letdown.
Did not really love Crash
Like,
Bandicoot,
geez, this
did
was
I?
Not as good as I thought it was.
Speaking of retro things, because now my brain is stuck in retro mode, does anyone remember this? It was for PS1, and it was a Frogger game, but like instead of like being regular Frogger, there was like actual missions and like worlds and
no,
things
it's
like
funny
that.
you brought that up because when I was considering the Raspberry Pi, I was going through all these like PlayStation titles,
Right.
And I was going literally through the Wikipedia for all of every PlayStation title that ever came out,
Right.
PlayStation 1, and I came across and I went Frogger,
It was Frogger.
fucking Frogger. It was a Frogger 3D.
I don't remember if there was a 3D at the end. I just remember it being Frogger, and like there were different colored like butterflies that you had to get
think I do
different
remember
powers,
this,
and
yeah.
there was like cute like buttons you had to jump on, and
It was
I'm
like-
just
They made a fucking Frogger game. They,
They made
made
all
so
kinds of
many
shit.
fucking
oh yeah,
games.
they were just like we just
They made a
making
game
games for shit.
They made a game after like every major movie. There was like an Avatar game, and there was
they
a
were-
fucking like.
Oh yeah,
There's so many different games.
They tried
for
to make,
all
like,
these shitty movies.
Everybody tried to make like a platformer,
right.
Like a
Tarzan.
like, but like an actual like icon trying to do like the Mario thing. It was like, here's Croc, and it's like, who the fuck's Croc? And it's like, I don't know, it's this
You just wanna
crocodile with a
love him.
backpack. It's like, here's Bubsy, and it's like, who the fuck's Bubsy? And it's like, you don't need to know who Bubsy is. Bubsy
just fucking
sucks.
play it.
There were some over the years. There were some good games that were adapted from films that I thought were good. I remember back in the day on one of the systems, maybe it was a Nintendo. I think it might have been a Nintendo. There was
And they're Nintendos.
after the '89 Batman came out with Michael Keaton, there was a Batman game that came out
Yeah,
that
there
was
was.
pretty epic and amazing. And
Okay.
it was like I don't know, what do you call that style of game where you like climb like you have like I guess it's a side scroller.
Yeah, it's a side scroller.
Yeah,
it's like a beat 'em up.
I think it was a beat 'em up side
Beat 'em
scroller.
up.
I remember that was really good. And then Goonies came out,
Goonies 2 came
and
out.
they
Goonies
came out
2
with a
came
game
out.
called Goonies 2 that was awesome,
Yeah.
that I really loved.
The Warriors had a really good.
The Warriors game on PlayStation 2
Yeah.
is up there on my shelf.
Very
It's
good game.
Fucking amazing. I love the Warriors. That was a lot like Double Dragon.
Yeah,
It was like Double Dragon, only 3D.
I sold a lot of that at Giant Game Store when I worked there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the non-GameStop place. She didn't work there.
I did not work
At
there
all.
ever. Not once.
I was trying to think of some other movie adaptation games that were fucking great.
Terminator Salvation.
Wait, they adapted that into a game?
Yeah, the game was fun.
What?
The movie was
Really?
terrible.
The
Yeah.
game was fun?
The game was
I
fun.
love that fucking movie. I'm sorry, I'm a big Terminator fan.
Really?
I think the movie, the movie only works if you watch, which is pristine, by the way. It's amazing. 2 seasons. You have to watch the Sarah Connor Chronicles. So you have to watch T1, T2, Sarah Connor Chronicles 2 seasons, and then, which was essentially marketing right into Salvation. Because the plot line kind of follows right into Salvation. It's amazing.
What was the most recent one? Was it Genesis or?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's like a
Genesis.
reboot, and it was a pile of shit. It's really not good.
Matt Smith. That's all I remember.
Oh
about
my
it.
god, yeah, he was in that.
That's all I remember
the
about it.
Fuck, that was weird. But I think this is it. This is the show.
This
we did
was-
it.
This is good.
It was our first correspondence and coffee.
If
We're
that's what
not
you wanna
calling
call
it that.
That name is probably going to change.
I've given up on trying to fight it. I don't even
Please
care.
don't call it that.
We'll call it. What were we going to? Some of the names.
I don't fucking know.
DLC.
The DLC. We were
No,
going to
it's a
call it
microtransaction.
DLC.
Microtransaction.
We were going to go pop up gaming. Pop up gaming.
Pop up gaming.
Or a night Java. Night Java.
You said that
Night Java.
like it was this great idea, and it was like, why would we call it that?
Java.
Let's never call it that.
Write comments to us.
Tell us what we should name it.
reach out to Sleeping Flower on Twitter. What is it? Sleeping Flower?
Sleeping Flower X.
Sleeping Flower X. Hit her up on Twitter. Give her a message and say, you should call it this. Whatever we're going to call it.
Don't do that.
All right. I'll think of something. But thanks for listening, whoever's here. And look for EG Presents 151 next week at some point.
Right. With all the people he actually likes.
Yeah.
And please,
The real team.
you guys, that's not what we're saying.
We're like the B Avenger.
Yeah.
What do they call it? The Avengers, West Coast Avengers?
The West Coast Avengers, yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Who was on the West Coast Avengers? I don't even remember.
Literally no one important.
I don't know. We're going to look up the West Coast Avengers.
The new Inhumans.
But yeah, I'm Felix Hergood. You can catch me at twitch.tv/Felix Hergood and mixer.com/Felix Hergood. Either one. I go live to both services at once. And you may find Snacks the Cat or Flower or both showing up to be live on stream with me.
Possibly.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun doing that. I think we should. I definitely want to do Injustice 2 with you guys again. And I am down to get the Dragon Ball game.
I don't know if you are.
The fighters game?
You're not ready.
Yeah.
Why? I'm into fighting games.
Oh my god, Dragon Ball is such a... Okay, no, I'm not going down this hole.
Who are you? Where can we find you?
Oh, I'm just Snacks the Cat, but don't find me.
Don't find him.
Yeah,
He doesn't want
He's
to be
hiding.
found. He doesn't want to be found
Yeah.
unless it's on my stream or
Sure.
on
I'll do
one
that.
of these shows.
Sure. And I'm Sleeping Flower. You can find me at twitch.tv/Sleeping Flower or Twitter at Sleeping Flower X.
Perfect.
That's it.
All right. Have a good week.
Meow. I mean, I literally, like, when I got off work, I just went to McDonald's and ate a cheeseburger while watching Japanese girls wrestle. So, like, I don't know.
This is what I'm talking
That's
about.
actually
See what I'm
kind of
talking about?
interesting.
Yo, they beat the shit out of this one girl, and she started screaming to get
This
back
is-
in the ring, but they wouldn't let her. It was
This
is-
hilarious and cool.
I think that this discussion needs to have room to breathe.